In a previous video in which I built a lab bench power supply, I made a power meter to observe the output voltage and current myself. So in this video I am going to show you the basic principles for measuring voltage and current and how the meter works. First we take a look at a meter we can directly buy to do this work, which I found on Amazon. Then I attached the power and sensor cable which was included. Then after I powered it up and tried to measure the voltage, and we can see our first problem here. The screen refresh time is about 1.5 seconds, which is okay for less important observations, but it is not enough for us. We can also see that the current value, even when it is not measuring anything, is not zero. And even after adjusting the current adjust pot in the back of the meter, I could not get the reading to zero. So I guess I got a faulty piece. Now let's see how we can measure power ourselves. Obviously we can use a multimeter to measure voltage and current, but we cannot use it in a custom project, can we? It doesn't make sense. Now let's see what are the essential parameters we want for our meter. It should measure and display the values in real time. It should be small and cheap enough to include it in our custom projects. The first obvious option is we can use a microcontroller with a built-in analog to digital controller or ADC, which enables us to read the voltage value and represent it in a digital value, which can also then be displayed on a display. The first microcontroller which comes to mind is the Arduino, or more specifically the Atmega 328P, which has a 10-bit ADC built in. So I used one of the 6 analog pins on the Arduino Nano and connected a potentiometer and an OLED screen. And after including some bit math in the code, we can successfully read voltages from 0 to 5 volts with a 0.00488 volts sensitivity, which may sound accurate enough, but for a precision work like a power supply needs more accuracy. Also, the voltage range is also a huge limit. As you can see, we can measure voltage properly with this setup, and after using a shunt resistor and with some Ohm's law in the code, we can also get the current, but the range is limited here. Now as I wanted the range to go up to 25 volts and 2 amps, I had to find a different way to make this work. So after some while surfing on the internet, I found this breakout board for the INA 219 IC, which measures power up to the range of 32 volts and 3.5 amps. Which was enough for me. Now as this board communicates with our controller through I2C, it was also very easy to hook it up. Just connect the serial clock and the serial data pins on both the sides together. Let's take a look at the code required to use the INA 219 IC. We first include its library provided by Adafruit and initialize it as a device. Then we assign floats to all the values we will read from the IC. Then in the loop, we just call the two functions we created below in the code to read the values and display it. To get the values, we just use the command used in the INA 219 library, and then we display it on our OLED screen. Now as we power up this system, we can see even when no load is connected, the readings were not zero. So to check, I just connected the in plus pin to the positive rail. The voltage values were reading quite properly, but the current value was not zero, even when there was no current flowing. We can correct this by adding or subtracting a value from the current float value in the code to make it zero. Or in our case, we can see about 2.2 or 2.1 milliamps. So we subtract this value in the code to make it zero. And now when we power it up, we can see it displays an accurate value, and it also consumes a bit less, if not equal to the Amazon meter. So now after tweaking the system a little bit, I ended up on this code for the meter where I made 3 different modes to use all the 3 different ranges of the INA 219 IC. And I just created a timer where we switch between the different range modes on a push of a button. So after being sure that I was going to use this in my power supply, I went ahead and included this in my custom board, and my power supply came to life. Now if you want to make this meter yourself, I will link all the schematics and codes in the description of this video. And if you want to make a bench power supply yourself, do check my video on it. If you got to learn anything from this video, do leave a like, share this video to your fellow enthusiasts, and do consider subscribing.